Welcome to AfricaCom 2018, the place where Africa's digital future is being shaped. With me is Paul Berriman, the Group CTO of PCCW. A very, very good morning and welcome to AfricaCom 2018.
Thank you.
It's not your first time here, you've been here a few times. What makes you keep coming back to AfricaCom?
Oh, this is, Cape Town, of course. But AfricaCom is a great meeting place. You get so many people from so many parts of Africa that come here. We can schedule so many meetings. It's just a great time, and I like doing the conferences too. It's different from some of the ones we have in Asia because the topics are quite different in terms of what drives the economies of the countries and what types of technologies they're trying to deploy. So
you made reference to meetings a moment ago. Who are you looking forward to meeting the most?
I think other operators that we do business with. We provide, our main business outside of Hong Kong is providing connectivity across the world. So providing all of the operators in Africa with connectivity to other parts of the world is a big deal for us, and this is a great place to do those deals.
Fantastic. Now you'll be delivering a keynote on connecting and monetizing a digital future with 5G. What do you think are some of the key benefits of this form of next generation of networks?
Many people think that 5G is about the next smartphone, the fastest smartphone, and this sort of thing, but really it's not. It's about what people are calling the fourth industrial revolution. It's connecting machines, millions of machines, billions of machines. So it's not to do with smartphones. And so I think that for us, it's all about how we develop society, the economy. It's the things that we couldn't do before. Because the fourth generation for industrial work has to have a foundation on connectivity. And connectivity that is fast, that can be reliable, that can work for any device that we want to think about, anything from healthcare to traffic and preventing accidents, that type of thing. So it's really very much about connectivity for the next generation of connected devices.
And what are some of the sort of challenges, I suppose, that other parts of the world have had to overcome in order to realize 5G?
Quite honestly, I don't think anyone's really overcome them yet. So the challenges are all to do with the economics of the future for society and for governments, etc., not for the mobile operators. So the mobile operators are not going to benefit too much from this, as much as the government and society will benefit. So the question is, how can they make a business model that works? Because if we're going to connect devices which are very small, inside a building somewhere, that have a battery that can last for 4 years or more, then the cells that we connect to have to be very near to them, which means what we call densification of cells. So in Hong Kong, we expect to go from maybe 3,000 cell sites to 30,000 cell sites, all right? And those all have to be connected with a fiber optic cable. So how do you justify the cost of that, and how do you then generate the revenue? And if you are connecting millions of devices rather than the smartphones of today, you're not going to have a monthly revenue of a few $100 per phone. You're going to have a few bucks per device, which again affects the whole economics. So these are the challenges that the operator has to face in terms of how do you make a business out of 5G.
And I imagine a key lesson for Africa, because we are at the beginning stages, are we not, of realizing 5G on the continent?
Well, there is an opportunity to leapfrog in this situation. Yes, you have the mobile phone networks around the major cities and the urban areas, etc. But if you take what's happening in the US, where they're having problems in the rural and suburban areas of getting fiber to the home, 5G actually provides a viable alternative to that last few hundred meters, not the last mile or just the last. Getting down to a street with a fiber is very easy. Getting into every single home, which is different, has a different topology, you've got to design a project manage the way into the home, is tough. But if you can put a little cell site up there that can cover the whole neighborhood with high speeds that are equivalent or almost equivalent to fiber, then you can provide connectivity to people in a much easier way. And I think that for places in Africa where people are relying on mobile phones but would like to have fiber-like performance in their home, it does provide the opportunity for fixed wireless access into the home, which is more economical, is faster and cheaper to do.
Well, in addition to your work at PCCW, you're also a non-executive director for RAIN, which is a data-only mobile operator in South Africa. Are we likely to see more of these kinds of operators?
Well, I hope so. I think there's one of the good mantras that we're hearing from the communications minister here is the idea of the liking for infrastructure sharing, because when you're building a highly densified network, you really do need to think about infrastructure sharing. And of course, RAIN has built its platform on sharing infrastructure with other operators, and I think that's a good thing. It'll pave the way for more operators, especially if we move to more of a wholesale environment where the operators are retailers rather than building the infrastructure, because the infrastructure is being shared. That would make good economic sense, and you can still have competition at the retail level. And I think that's one of the mantras that we're working towards, and we're trying to do that by being a little bit of a disruptor in this market.
Yeah. Very much so. What I love most about it is the fact that it's going to cost me so much less to consume a gigabyte of data.
And it should move more and more to that, now that the government is recognising that spectrum plays a major part in 5G. Because 5G isn't any more spectrally efficient than 4G. If you want to get 10 times the amount of megabits per second on 5G, you have to have 10 times the amount of spectrum. And I think that's now being recognised, and when you have more spectrum, it'll bring down the prices, because you're not such a scarce resource then.
No, for sure. I need to let you go get ready for your keynote, but if you could share 3 words that I suppose best sum up AfricaCom for you, what would those be?
Well, AfricaCom itself, I'll tell you later at the end of the conference, but for Africa, as far as I'm concerned, it's growing, it's inspiring, it's dynamic. I think those would be my 3 words that I would use.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Paul. I'm looking forward to your keynote address.
Thank you.
Thank you.